So this is my mess. I've been cleaning it up. And yeah, I did some trimming. You basically get a whole lot more yard space here. But you know, look at this tree. This is a fig tree. It's huge. It's like full of figs. They're still green. And I mean, you know, that's the thing. If you buy a house in the interior of Portugal, then you essentially have a lot of nice land. You know, this is pretty private, except you're in the middle of the village. So we built this wall, which is like a granite wall. And that's the typical building stone for this area. Like this, Portugal sits in just granite. There's so much granite everywhere, so you can see it's extended all the way over there. But this is a pretty nice private thing. I think, you know, this is the house. You can barely see it. And so I was cutting all of this stuff. I don't have tools, so I'm doing it all by hand. When I lived here, there was none of this. Like everything was like nice and clean. And if you like look down here, you know, like also these are vineyards, but everything has just died off. They dried. And I also have that. I think it's half of that. There's a natural spring water there. And, you know, good vistas from the house. Like the house is here. You see, that's the house. Unfortunately, it needs a new roof on this side, so I'm waiting for the guy to come to give an estimate. But, you know, if I lived here, this would be a pretty sweet place. And here we have a chicken coop. We used to have chickens here. And then we have this other chunk of land, and then a garage there. It's not a garage, you can just drive through. But I need to tear down this chicken coop because it'll be nice to have all of this yard and just build this somewhere else if I needed it. But the plan is to remove this, especially in the yard. That way maybe I can drive through one place, exit out the other. But look at this huge pine. There's just so much stuff to do. I have to, this thing, I don't know. This used to house some birds. My father had like a blue jay. And yeah, that was kind of cool. He had like exotic birds here. But at this point, that's a better chicken coop than the other one. And then here we have a plow. That's a plow for going to the lands that we have around here. You know, like the way Portugal is structured is that people live in villages, towns, cities, and the outside, nobody lives there. It's prohibited, which is kind of silly, but it makes for a nice looking countryside. So this is all just stuff here. There's some stones. I'm not sure what the plan was that with those stones. Maybe they fell from the house above. And we have some bricks, some blocks. Man, there's just so much to do that it seems that I just don't know how to start. Such a large project. Look at that. You know, the views up there are pretty nice. I've shown you guys this before. But let's this is the tractor. Lamborghini tractor. And it should work, you know. It doesn't have any issues, but the problem is just unused. And I was looking up the prices of these things, and they're costly. Like you're talking about 3,000 euros for a one that needs a lot of work, like this one, to 6,000 to 7,000 for something that's in better condition. That's turnkey. So there we go, Lamborghini R235. Very easy to work on. Look at that. The filters are right there. It is leaking a little oil, but remember, this Lamborghini was made out of World War II parts. That's how Lamborghini made its money, and then he made the cars that are very famous and very expensive. And I have, can't see it here, but I have a trailer down there. It was used for hunting dogs, taking the dogs for hunting, boars and whatever. Right here, it just, such a mess. It's so badly organized as far as a house. You know, I guess I'm used to houses in the United States. They're very easy to kind of, you enter through the garage. The garage has got a lot of space. And then you just park and go inside your house. But here, it's like you have to go up all of these stairs to go up to the top. And of course, I broke my drone, so I can't do any more shots. I don't know what's happening, but I just tried it again. I thought it was the propellers, boom. But no, now it's like in unworkable conditions, so I can't do anything with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start trimming some of these weeds here. Vamos mudar o carro? An estimate for the roof, but I think it's going to be too expensive because it's a different type of roof. But you see this? This is the big issue. Because if I leave it like this, it's going to cave in, but I also don't want to spend a lot of money because I'm not even in this house. So for me, I don't know, like it just seems such a big issue here. But if I can get the roof repaired, then I can just at least use this for camping or something. Because, you know, this is a nice house. You got a nice view.
Dá para ver, olha ali.
Ah, tem. Ah, aqui giro.
É uma mais alta
Já nem
que
me
outra.
lembrava.
É, ok. Já estou a ver. Agora tenho que lá ir acima ver a estrutura.
Just took down this big fig tree. Here's one thing I'm learning about pruning fig trees. First of all, don't do it in the summer, but this is my only choice. But they're almost like butter to cut through. You're just using a handsaw. Incredible. And this is an olive tree. This is a really neat trimming, but the position of it in the middle of the driveway is just so horrible. But of course, I'm not going to cut it. Just going to trim this because it is messing up the roof of the chicken coop. What I've done so far. The tree is down, kind of like there's one limb that was crowding that shed. So now at least it's off of that house and the shed. And then I'm gonna start working on the walls there, and then I'm gonna go to another thing, remove more weeds, cut trees and stuff. As you can see here, it's all weeds, and these are the walls, the retaining walls that I have exposed. But you know, the sun is here now. I can barely walk because of all of the debris down, but that's the granite wall. It does move over time, which is very interesting. And yeah, I still have a lot to do. It's mostly on this side. Now I just gotta gather all of this wood into a pile, and then in the winter just burn it all off. I had the guy come over, give me an estimate for the roof, and yeah, it's not even worth it. He quoted me 19,000 euros. That's like $23,000. My roof in the US is not that much, but I plan on getting some more estimates. Hopefully I'll get this result soon, so stay tuned. Oh, I think the Quinta is looking pretty good. You know, let's go look up at the roof and see what is wrong with it. We're up here. This is the roof. And you see these pieces of light here? Well, that's where light is coming in. You see they're just coming in. It's on one part only. This doesn't seem to have that many on this particular part. See how much darker this is? But when you come up here, you have exposed tiles, and it's not that many. That's a dead lizard over there. Oh no, that's a real lizard. Look at this. Holy cow, let me get in there, see if I can see what it looks like. Oh my god. Look at it. That's a pretty darn good looking lizard. So this is the other property that I have here. My house is over there, back there. And here is the feature. Look at this. These are all oranges. It's just all over the ground. And this is my chicken coop. We used to have chickens and turkeys here. And then we had like another, I think it was like a fig tree here. But what I want to do is try to cut some of these back. Man, look at that. There's so many oranges everywhere. I wish these were ripe, but you know, you can still eat them. That's the thing. Look at, they're still pretty good. I just don't have a weed whacker or anything to start like chopping all of this stuff up. But I need another day or so. I did clear a lot of this. So what I mostly did is using this, I cut the ivy at the root. So all of this stuff is going to be dying off. You see like all of that. You know, when you haven't eaten sugar for a while, these berries just feel just as sugary. And look at this. This is one of the oranges I got from my yard. Really good. It's a little bit on the bitter side. Kitchen. So this is where I probably would build a new kitchen. So if I moved in here, I could have the kitchen up here. I got the fireplace already. This is really large enough. This is actually more of the standard American like type of style, and then you have boom, a little bit of a damaged thing here, but it's a Spanish hacienda style. But I think it's a really nice house. If the quinta is looking a whole lot better. You know, the palm tree, we didn't have a palm tree for the longest time. Actually, the only one that was in the entire village was this house here. And that was like an iconic palm tree. It took up that entire space, and then I guess they cut it because it was rotten or whatever. And I wanted a palm tree ever since. So I kept asking my uncle to like plant one. He planted one, it died. And then finally my aunt went to the Algarve, which is like the further south you can go. And she got one and planted it here. And it's already taller than two people. It's like about 12 feet tall already. So Quinta wouldn't be complete with its own tractor. So well, let me show you around this beautiful machine here. Of course, this is a R235 Lamborghini tractor, and here in Portugal we use this to just do about everything. It was a workhorse. It's a small engine. Remember that Lamborghini made tractors before cars, and they did it with all this World War II technology. And you know, this tractor eventually I will get it working, but this is the first start of driving I have ever done, you know, with my father sitting on my father's lap and driving this thing around. It's a very simple vehicle. Let's open up the hood so you guys get to look at the horses here. Very simple. Here's the tank. Of course, it's a diesel. And look at the filters. I guess that's not the filter. That's the filter. Now, I've never done any maintenance to this. This is was always my father's thing. That the battery is dead. Here's the battery. Eventually, I think if I just get a battery, change the oil and everything, it will start, because it was fully working when it was set. When it set, and I believe this is the speed. Still works. Look at that. That's the little lever for the speed. Let's pull out the covers. so you guys get to see this beautiful, hey, flashlight, nice. These old crank ones never work. Stick shift for your speed. Here's the clutch. Ooh, ooh, there we go, first gear. Second, oh, this thing's so, but you know, it's a pretty solid vehicle. And of course, that's your handbrake. And let's see what else. I believe that's just your brake. So once you release this, you can brake using this. And this is the various levers for, I guess, for the rear, so you can do some work in the farm. We do have a plow. These are other hydraulic things. I don't think I was ever privy. Well, you know, I don't have any electricity in the house for obvious reasons. So one of the things I brought from the US is this. This has been an amazing way of charging. It's by Nice Solar, and it's pretty decent. You know, I didn't think this would work as well as it does, but it does. And I mostly use it to charge my laptop so I can edit videos. So let me show you this thing. It's quite amazing. And right now the sun is not inside the house, but I can put it in the window and it works extremely well. It's portable, and there we go. That's all it is. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 panels. You see that? It's already collecting electricity. Even though I'm inside, there's enough solar to power it. And that's the connector that you would use for powering the laptop. It's got like the cables necessary, but it also has a USB 2.0 and a USB-C. So I can charge my GoPro if I'm, you know, camping, or just set it by the window, hang it up. That's it. I mean, that's the little solar thing that I brought that works really well. So that's in case you guys are interested in getting something that's solar, that can power, you know, temporary sort of thing. This is perfect. It's the perfect camping solution. Well, I'm gonna leave my village today. Man, it is so quiet sleeping in the village at night. You just don't hear a peep. It's amazing. And here you can see the stars in the sky and everything. Yeah, really beautiful. But it takes a special kind of person to live here full time. I don't think I'm that person, unfortunately. At one point I was.